Marvel returned to Hall H last night. They had incredible announcements, but really, I think the theme of the entire show was, everything is going to be all right. Some incredible announcements yesterday at the San Diego Comic-Con. They haven't been there for a number of years for a variety of reasons, but really, I think they took this opportunity to show off their vision and really what they think is going to happen in the future. So I, like everybody, many people at least, I was not there, unfortunately, so I was kind of digging up all the various YouTube channels that were following it and doing my best to kind of piece it together. A lot of different people were tweeting things and, you know, showing video, maybe showing some images they shouldn't, but I was kind of pulling it all in, and it was fun to watch. You wish they would just have a stream, right? And maybe that's something we'll see in the future. But, I mean, I think it's their way of looking at the future. Hopefully they've learned some things from the past, and let's just talk through it all. So right now, currently, if you are a Marvel fan, we are in Phase 4, which has come after the incredible Infinity Saga, which culminated in Infinity War and Endgame, which were unbelievable in my mind, and most people think that's the pinnacle of where Marvel movies have been at. Currently, I think they really lost their way a little bit in Phase 4, and there's a couple reasons for that. So I think they've had some lows, like Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse, I didn't really like as much. The She-Hulk trailer doesn't do much for me. The Hawkeye show, I didn't like as much. You've kind of had some stuff in the middle, like Black Widow. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great. You know, I think there's been a number of WandaVision I liked, but there was, it wasn't. It was innovative, but I didn't completely love it. And then you've had some highs, which, I really enjoyed Shang-Chi. I did really like the Spider-Man No Way Home movie, and I did like the Loki show. I thought that was great too. So they did some good things, but I think the three things that they didn't do, which they had done well in the future, is it didn't seem like they all worked together as much as some of the other phases. There wasn't any culminating event, and I think they maybe, basically introduced too many new characters. And so the last thing is I think it kind of got really goofy. There was a lot of, I really disliked Thor 2 Love and Thunder. I think it's one of the weaker I mean, there's parts of it that I enjoyed, but for the most part, it was just too over the top for me. I think, it could have been dialed on the funniness factor and the goofiness factor to, maybe 7, and they dialed it to 10. And I think a lot of people agree with me there. So I do believe that they've listened to some of their critics, and they are looking at these next two phases, and they're trying to share with us their vision and that things are going to be all right. And here's what we're looking at. So how do they resolve some of that? Well, number one, I think that if you look at least at Phase 5, 7 of the 12, and they could introduce other things and move things around. That happens. But 7 of the 12 movies or shows are highlighted with characters from the original phases. So that's interesting, like Loki Season 2, etc. So I think, I still think they'll have a lot of new characters involved, but they'll be kind of showcasing some of the characters that we already know. But then, of course, they are going to have some of the newer characters like Agatha and Echo, etc. And so that's great, too. And we'll be able to learn their stories and learn more about those characters. They seem to be going down this three-prong path, which is in the cosmic, we saw Guardians of the Galaxy and Ms. Marvel movies. In the supernatural, we know that we had Moon Knight and others, but we are seeing Blade and Agatha. And then in the kind of street level shows, they have a lot. They have Blade, they have Daredevil, new commitment to Daredevil, which is exciting, and the Echo show. I'm missing some others, but you get the feel. They're going to continue down these 3 tracks, and of course, they'll probably culminate in some event. We don't know what that is. And I am excited for the Secret Invasion show as well. That will bring back Nick Fury and others that we know. So I think there's going to be a good mix of it going forward, and that makes me excited. And lastly, I think that really Marvel has not rested on their laurels. Maybe that's why they got into some trouble with Phase 4, right? But they are continuing to push. They're continuing to try to do things different. And I did see an interview with Kevin Feige, and he talked a little bit about how maybe they were doing too many Avengers movies. And I remember in the past, I think maybe even 6 months ago, 10 months ago, Kevin Feige said something like the Avengers would not return. That name would not return. But obviously, they brought it back. And so I think they still want to show that they can swing for the fences and do something great, and they're not afraid of that, which is why, Marvel has done such a great job. And so you saw the announcements for Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret War, which personally I was super excited about because that was my favorite series as a kid. And I know that it might not be the original Secret Wars. It might be the Hickman Secret Wars, and they'll probably merge a bunch of it together, and that's great. And they'll change a bunch of things, and that's okay too. But the theme of it, I'm sure, will be very similar to what we saw. And personally, I didn't think I'd ever see something like that on the big screen or any screen. And so I'm, super excited for that. And I was glad to see that announcement. And I think that in terms of using the Avengers name again, maybe they, as an executive team or whatever, talked about it. But they've done such a great job building up that brand. And when you see an Avengers movie, you think to yourself, oh, there's going to be something really terrible happening. We need all hands on deck. We're going to have all of our heroes work together and defeat some sort of bad guy or whatnot. And, of course, I'm sure they associate that with, we're going to make a bunch of money. So, and I think they should just continue to do that. I have no problems with them using the Avengers name or continue to use it. I love all the Avengers movies, and I think they've been great. So definitely excited for those movies, and we'll see how they build up to them because they've also done a really good job with that in the past as well. So I also think that, lastly, just to talk a little bit about Veve, is that Marvel is looking ahead. You see that. They might be probably planning the next saga after the multiverse saga, right? Most likely they are. And I think that's where Veve comes in. They understand that these digital assets, digital license, there's going to be this kind of metaverse in which people can work together and be in a community together that above and beyond what we currently are doing with Twitter or Facebook or whatever it might be. And they are taking a swing at that with Veve, and they were front and center. They were exactly like I said, in their booth with huge statues. They had multiple interviews. On iPads, they were showing people how to sign up and how to buy these digital collectibles. And really, I think moving forward as they create new experiences, because really that's the advantage and that's what you can do with these digital collectibles, is how can we have an experience that literally doesn't exist right now, and how can we build communities around it in which people can gather, have fun, talk, share. And I only think about, this San Diego Comic-Con, how there were, of course, 100,000 plus people there, I think. But really, for me, I couldn't be there. I watched it through YouTube, which is something that, before YouTube you could never do. But how that experience might change in the future with the metaverse. Would you be able to buy a ticket and walk around? Would you be able to be in Hall H? All these things I think are imminent, possible, and we may see in the future. But really, I really liked, and from what I could see from the panel, all the announcements were spectacular to me. And I feel like they played the right song for the Black Panther trailer. It was super spectacular. If you haven't seen it, obviously you should. That movie I have high hopes for. And I may do a video just on that one, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll talk to y'all soon.